I have been to multiple zoos and aquariums throughout my lifetime, as I'm sure many people can say the same thing. Hi, my name is Victoria Shuey, and today I'm going to be discussing the benefits of aquariums and zoos. Zoos and aquariums are beneficial to society because of conservation, education, and research programs. Zoos and aquariums house numerous species of animals from all over the world. Many people have doubts as to whether zoos and aquariums are a good place for animals to live. I am here to tell you why zoos and aquariums are necessary parts of the animal and human worlds. Zoos and aquariums are beneficial to society because of conservation, education, and research programs. First, I'm going to discuss how zoos and aquariums help with the conservation of animals. Zoos and aquariums are necessary parts of our society because they are the main source of conservation of animals. Many people argue that wildlife does not need conservation efforts, but this is very wrong. According to an Awesome Ocean online article by Emily Persico, zoos have saved countless species from extinction, including the red wolf, the Louisiana pine snake, the Arabian ox, and the black-footed ferret. Here is an image of the red fox in the wild. As you can see, it looks like a typical fox, but it is a rare species of fox that is actually going extinct as we speak. Many people do not think that it is necessary to save this fox because there are many other foxes like it. However, this particular fox helps our ecosystem in many ways. So the zoos are conserving this species of animal and helping them stay alive. Many of these bred animals are kept in the zoos while some are returned to the wild. Many people believe that all animals in zoos are taken directly from the wild. However, according to a Wild Enrichment online article by Kyle Vanton Jones, almost all animals in accredited zoos and aquariums in the country began their lives in captivity and as a product of a breeding program. This is why breeding programs in zoos are so beneficial. Animals are, under most circumstances, only taken from the wild if they are at risk of becoming endangered or injured. If an animal is injured in the wild and the zoo believes that they can recuperate it back to health, they will take it to their zoo and care for it. Now that we have discussed the importance of conservation in zoos and aquariums, we will learn how zoos and aquariums are beneficial because of their educational factors. One of the main benefits of zoos and aquariums is their educational programs. My personal zoo that I go to is the Cincinnati Zoo. Here is their webpage. So I am a member of the Cincinnati Zoo, and I have participated in multiple of the education programs here at the zoo, and I've also helped be a leader of many of the educational programs through their volunteer program. From personal experience, I can assure you that every single zoo I've been to, most recently the Cincinnati Zoo, has informational signs in front of each display of the animal that tells me what animal I'm looking at, as well as information about the animal, their species, and the habitat that they would be found in. I have learned so much about these animals from all over the world by simply reading the signs posted around the zoos and aquariums. I would otherwise have no way of seeing these animals in real life, as I could never travel to their native locations. According to an online article written by Vanton Jones, another great part of the zoo educational program is the hands-on and close encounters with various animals that people get during camps and keeper talks. As I talked about this before, I have been a volunteer during some of these things that the zoo holds for children. By exposing people to real-life animals instead of just photos, zoos and aquariums are impacting people on a deeper level. The learning at zoos and aquariums happens up close and personal, so someone, especially a child, is more likely to remember this experience rather than just reading about the animal in a book or seeing a photo of the animal talked about it. By exposing children to these real animals, zoos and aquariums are helping to shape the future leaders of our world into loving and caring for animals that they would otherwise have no way of seeing. Now that we have learned about why the educational programs at the zoos and aquariums are so important, we will now look at why research programs are so beneficial. Many research programs give research grants to various zoos and aquariums all over the country. This allows the zoos and aquariums to conduct valuable research on their captive populations that wild populations may not be able to have the same research done on them. However, the research is done on the exact same species. According to the article online written by Banton Jones, having access to captive populations of animals can be extremely beneficial to researchers as they do not have to go out in the wild and find the animal. This saves a lot of time in the research process. Researchers in a zoo can also easily manipulate conditions in order to benefit their research so that they can find out exactly what they are needing to find out. Another benefit of having zoos and aquariums is that research can be monitored 24/7. In the wild, there is no possible way to know and watch an animal every single second of the day without keeping it captive somehow. And actually, when you are studying animals in captivity, you can watch them in real life and you can take videos of them and watch it over and over. This actually really helps the research process go smoothly. According to an article by Karen Goodrow, some successful research programs housed at zoos include the Manatee Research Program and the Leatherdale International Polar Bear Conservation Center. There are many more successful research programs, but these are just a few that are widely known and that have had a great impact. The research done at zoos and aquariums helps us better understand how species function in the wild, as well as how they interact with others, and with each other and other species of animals. Researching animals in captivity also helps us learn how to protect those threatened in the wild. Here you can see some research that is posted from the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. So here are just some quick facts about the research in zoos and aquariums. So there's 25.1 million spent on research, 1,366 projects reported, 125 peer-reviewed papers, technical reports, book chapters, or graduated theses published, 160 facilities reported. 60% of research is led by AZA, which is Association of Zoos and Aquariums, member facilities, and 590 species and subspecies were studied. Now that I have discussed the importance of research programs at zoos and aquariums, I will now address some opposing viewpoints. Many people say that animals would always be happier in the wild. This is hard to both argue and agree with simply because we cannot read the animals' minds and we do not know what they are thinking. Animals in captivity are given meals, playtimes, and safety that they would never get in the wild. Many people argue that captive animals are not cared for properly and that they're only there for entertainment. However, there is an association made for the sole purpose of regulating zoos and aquariums, which is the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. The Association of Zoos and Aquariums makes sure that all accredited zoos and aquariums in the country maintain standards that ensure quality of habitats for the animals so that they all have a good quality of life and a safe place to live. So today we've learned about zoos and aquariums and how they are beneficial to society. Zoos and aquariums are beneficial because of the conservation efforts, the education programs, and the research programs that they provide. Zoos and aquariums give common people like me and you the chance to experience animals that they would otherwise never have the opportunity to see. Overall, zoos and aquariums help people be exposed to the natural world around us while educating and informing about what we can do to help the animal protection.